continue our discussion of the leadership traits. Previous session, we discussed some of the important leadership traits. We have learned 5 of the important leadership traits. And the first important leadership trait is alertness. Next is bearing. The third is courage. The fourth, decisiveness. And the fifth leadership trait is dependability. And now we have to go further in our understanding of the leadership traits. And the sixth leadership trait is endurance. Okay, what is endurance? Endurance is the ability of a person to bear suffering, to suffer any amount of pain. And leaders, all leaders, they will definitely have to suffer a lot of pain. Pain is not the kind of pain that is inflicted by maybe an injury. It could be even an injury. It's not always a kind of pain that is inflicted by sickness, some kind of accident, injury or anything. It could be any kind of pain. It could be mental, physical, emotional, okay? All such pains anyone will have. And a leader must have the ability, the readiness, the capability, the potential to suffer any amount of pain. And that ability of a person to suffer any amount of pain, any amount of difficulty, any amount of botherations, lot of bothering circumstances is what we mean by endurance. മലയാളത്തിൽ സഹനം എന്ന് പറയും. സഹിക്കാനുള്ള കഴിവ്, ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുകളെ, വേദനകളെ, പരാജയങ്ങളെ, ഉത്കണ്ഠകളെ, ആകുലതകളെ ഇതെല്ലാം സഹിക്കാനായിട്ടുള്ള കഴിവ്. എന്ത് പ്രതിസന്ധി ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും അതിനെ അഭിമുഖീകരിക്കാനും അത് സഹിക്കാനുമായിട്ടുള്ള ആ ഒരു റെഡിനെസ്, അതിനുള്ള ഒരു സന്നദ്ധത, അതാണ് എൻഡ്യൂറൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധി ഹാഡ് ദാറ്റ്. മദർ തെരേസ ഹാഡ് ദാറ്റ്. Abraham Lincoln had that. Jesus Christ had that. All great leaders had this particular ability to endure, suffer. And I as a teacher, I as a professor, I as an ANO, associate NCC officer, you are as students, you as a cadet, a student or a trainee, you will have to go for, of course, a commission training course. To be a police officer, to be anything, you need to have training, and training is not easy. Training will be rigorous and tough, and you will have to endure a lot of pain. And through pain, you will make yourself very, very fit person. No pain, no gain. ഇടയ്ക്കു കണ്ണീരുപ്പു പുരട്ടാതെന്തിനു ജീവിത പലഹാരം. Yes, we must have pain, and we must have that readiness to suffer pain. That is the 6th quality of a leader, endurance. Now we move on to the 7th quality of a leader, and that is very important. Every leader should have this quality, and that is enthusiasm. All right, so this is the next quality of a leader, enthusiasm. What is enthusiasm? Enthusiasm is, of course, the leaders. True leaders will be always very agile, very active, very smart, always very energetic and strong. And that energetic, strong, moving, active quality of a person is what is known as enthusiasm. Never saying, I am tired, I cannot do it, next day, not today, next week. No, leaders will always be enthusiastic. Yes, I'm ready. Now I can do it. I can. And that is the quality of a leader. Enthusiastic. Always ready. Always ready. That is enthusiasm. whatever is to be done, whatever must be done, it is to be done, and I am ready for that. എന്ത് ചെയ്യാനും ഏത് സമയത്തും ഏത് പാതിരാ നേരത്തും ഉണർവോടുകൂടി ഉന്മേഷത്തോടുകൂടി ശക്തിയോടുകൂടി തയ്യാറായി നിൽക്കുന്ന ആ ഒരു സന്നദ്ധതയാണ് enthusiasm. And every leader must have that quality of enthusiasm. Now we move on to the eighth quality of a leader, and a leader must have initiative. This is very important. Every leader should have this quality of initiative. Initiative is the readiness of a person to undertake something, to shoulder some responsibility, to, of course, to accept something. Yeah. Okay. Next week we have Independence Day celebrations. So a true leader, maybe a senior under officer or an ANO or a teacher or a class leader, he will say, yeah, we have to have a lot of activities for Independence Day. Now, of course, due to COVID-19, we have no Independence Day celebration. We should be very careful, okay, because the virus is just threatening us. So we should keep social distancing, no much. But otherwise, a student who is having leadership quality will go to the teacher and say, sir, let us make a rally, an Independence Day rally. Let's have a seminar. Oh, so this is initiative. Initiative is the readiness to shoulder some responsibility, take some action, and of course do at school level, at college level, at state level, national level, international level. So that is, of course, the broad canvas of leaders, right? So we as students must take initiative when you have the Environment Day, the AIDS Day. We have, of course, the Traffic Awareness Week. So all such functions and events and celebrations and festivals, students having leadership qualities will take initiative. And if we want to be leaders, let us take initiative. Let us not just move away, turn away from opportunities. എല്ലാ അവസരങ്ങളും നമ്മൾ എടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം വരുമ്പോൾ, ഒരു ഇവന്റ് വരുമ്പോൾ, now of course, right, we have possibility of flood. And when we have a problem of flood and some people are just affected by flood, so people who are having leadership quality will say, yeah, we will just go there and we will help them. That is initiative. Maybe there is an accident, okay, and of course the people who met with the accident need some kind of help, and if you along with your friend is going to help those people, that is initiative. All right, and we know that, of course, there are some people who are not having meal. All right, in this college, of course, there could be students who are not having meal. Maybe in the hospital, medical college, there could be people having no meal, and you take an initiative. Yeah, we will be arranging meal for these people. Okay, those students, poor students in our college, poor patients in the medical college. That is initiative. So as a cadet, as a student, we should have this kind of initiative. നമ്മുടെ ആവശ്യം കണ്ടറിഞ്ഞ് ഒരു സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ ഇടപെടുന്ന ആ ഒരു കഴിവിനാണ് ഇനീഷ്യേറ്റീവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അത് ലീഡേഴ്സ് നിർബന്ധമായിട്ടും വേണം. നമ്മളിൽ അതില്ല എങ്കിൽ നമ്മളിലേക്ക് തന്നെ ഒതുങ്ങിക്കൂടുന്നത്, അവസരങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് മാറിപ്പോകുന്ന, അത് തീരെ പാടില്ല. അതിന് നേരെ എതിരായിട്ടുള്ള അവസരങ്ങൾ തേടിപ്പോകുന്നത്, എന്താണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, ഞാൻ എന്താണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, ആ സന്നദ്ധത, അതാണ് ഇനീഷ്യേറ്റീവ്. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദി 8th quality of a leader. Now we move on to the next quality, the 9th quality of a leader, and that is integrity. Integrity is the 9th quality of a leader. So what is integrity? Integrity refers to being true to one's belief, being true to one's principles. I as an Indian, I as a National Cadet Corps member, I as an associate NCC officer, I as a professor of St. Joseph College, Devagiri, I as a member of this family, my family has its own principles, my community has its own principles, my college has its own vision and mission, my organization NCC has its own mission and vision. I have my own objectives and aims, and I will never sacrifice, rather I will never forget, I will never relinquish, I will never abandon the principles of India, my country. I will always be patriotic. I will always be loyal to my institution, my college. I will always be faithful to my organization. That is integrity. നമ്മളുടെ കുടുംബത്തോടും രാജ്യത്തോടും നമ്മളുടെ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയോടും നമ്മളുടെ സ്ഥാപനത്തോടും നമ്മൾ കാണിക്കുന്ന അഖണ്ഡമായിട്ടുള്ള വിശ്വാസ പ്രഖ്യാപനം നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിലുടനീളം. That is integrity, and every individual must have that. And if you are having that, you are a leader. You have that quality of a leader. Now we move on to the 10th aspect of the true leader. That is, of course, judgment. 10th leadership trait is judgment. Judgment. So a true leader will be always able to distinguish between right and wrong. Leaders must be able to make such kind of wise discrimination, or rather must be able to distinguish between, compare and contrast good and wrong, good and evil, just, where is justice, and we should always stand for justice. We shall never be biased. I as an ANO, I as a professor, I as, of course, the principal, I as the chief minister, I as the prime minister should not be biased or partial towards one group. There must not be any regionalism. There must not be any special consideration for somebody. Wherever is truth, wherever is justice, wherever is good, I will be there. And maybe you will hear about, about Solomon's judgment. What is Solomon's judgment? That is, of course, being, supporting, standing for truth and the just. So judgment, one must be, a true leader must be able to make good decisions and judgments. That is about judgment. Okay, നീതിബോധം നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ എപ്പോഴും നമുക്ക് വേണ്ട ഒരു വലിയ ഗുണമാണ് നീതിബോധം. നമ്മളുടെ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെയോ നമ്മൾക്ക് വേണ്ടപ്പെട്ടവർക്കോ വേണ്ടി മാത്രം ഓരോ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നീതിയില്ല. ആവശ്യമുള്ളിടത്ത് അവസരമായിട്ടുള്ളവർക്ക്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ സത്യത്തിൻ്റെ ഒപ്പം നന്മയുടെ ഒപ്പം നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന ആ ഒരു മനോഭാവം, ആ ഒരു കാഴ്ചപ്പാട്, ആ ഒരു ക്വാളിറ്റി, അതാണ് ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ശരിയായ തീരുമാനങ്ങൾ നീതിപൂർവ്വം എടുക്കുവാനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കഴിവ് ഏതൊരു നേതാവിനും വേണം. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റ്. Now we move on to the 11th quality of a true leader, that is justice. This is in fact an extension of the former one, judgment. Judgment is making, of course, very, very good, wise decisions. And justice is, of course, right, being just, being, of course, upholding good values, justice, right? Being, right, supporting, of course, the goodness. നന്മയുടെ ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് നീതിപൂർവ്വം കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിർവഹിക്കുക. ഡിസ്ചാർജിങ് ദ ഡ്യൂട്ടീസ് ഇൻ എ ജസ്റ്റ് വേ, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ജസ്റ്റിസ്. ആൻഡ് എവറി ലീഡർ ഹാസ് ടു ഡു ദാറ്റ്. നോട്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് ഹാവിങ് എനി കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് കറപ്ഷൻ, നോട്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് എക്സ്പ്ലോയിറ്റിംഗ്, നോട്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് മിസ്യൂസിങ്. ഓൾ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ജസ്റ്റിസ്, റൈറ്റ്? ഓക്കെ, നമ്മളുടെ പവർ, നമ്മളുടെ പൊസിഷൻ, നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയിരിക്കുന്ന അവസരങ്ങൾ ദുരുപയോഗിക്കാതെ, അനീതി കാണിക്കാതെ, കറപ്റ്റ് ആകാതെ നല്ല ജീവിതം മുമ്പോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോവുക, തൻ്റെ ഉത്തരവാദിത്വം നിർവഹിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ജസ്റ്റിസ് എന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുക. എവറി ട്രൂ ലീഡർ മസ്റ്റ് ബി, he must be free from any allegations. Society or people, the world should feel that he is, of course, just. He is a noble, good leader. So justice is the yet another aspect of leadership trait. And now we move on to the 12th leadership quality, that is, of course, knowledge. Very simple and easy knowledge. Every leader must know what's happening. He must have a clear idea about everything. Must be just updating himself every now and then. What's happening in his particular organization, what's happening in the society, what's happening in the state, what's happening in the world, what is important for us, this particular organization right now, what is important for my cadets, what's important for my organization, my institution. So knowledge, a leader must be up to date. He must, of course, update himself. Reading, and how can you have knowledge? Reading, listening, writing, and of course reading a lot, reading newspaper, reading great books, reading, of course, biographic, scientific, technological weeklies, journals, everything. So knowledge, അറിവ് എത്രമാത്രം പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ടതാണെന്ന് പറയേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. ലീഡേഴ്സിന് അറിവ് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും വേണം. സമഗ്രമായിട്ട് ഓരോ കാര്യങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും ചിന്തിക്കുവാനായിട്ടും പറയുവാനായിട്ടും കഴിയുന്ന ആൾക്കാരായിരിക്കണം leaders. So the 12th leadership trait is knowledge, and now we move on to the next leadership trait, that is loyalty. The 13th leadership trait is loyalty, and loyalty is nothing but faithfulness. So every leader must be faithful. He must be faithful first of all to himself. He must be faithful to his family. He must be faithful to his society. He must be faithful to his organization. He must be faithful to, of course, the institution he is working in. He must be faithful to the very fundamental principles of the constitution of the country he belongs to. Loyalty, patriotism, vishwasita. Vishwastanaയിരിക്കണം. ബൈബിൾ ഒരു കൊട്ടേഷനുണ്ട്, ചെറിയ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ വിശ്വസ്തനായിരിക്കുന്നവനെ ഞാൻ വലിയ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ വിശ്വസ്തനാക്കി. ഓക്കെ, സോ ലോയൽറ്റി ഈസ് ആപ്ലിക്കബിൾ ഇൻ ദ കേസ് ഓഫ് ലിറ്റിൽ തിങ്സ്, സോ ഓൾസോ ബിഗ് തിങ്സ്. സോ വി മസ്റ്റ് ബി ലോയൽ ഇൻ the case of small little things as well as big things, very big things, right? Okay, so very things involving maybe your family, things involving countries, so one must be loyal in that. Okay, I must be loyal to my organization NCC. I must be loyal to my commanding officer. I must be loyal to my country India. I must always uphold the principles of the Constitution of India, the sovereign, socialist, democratic, secular Constitution of India. I must uphold all these principles. That is loyalty. Loyalty to oneself, family, society, country, world. All right, now we move on to the next aspect of leadership. That is, of course, every leader must have this particular quality. That is, of course, a sense of humor. Every leader should have some kind of sense of humor, right? See, if the leader is all the time very serious and very serious, and of course not just cracking any joke or not just speaking in a very friendly way, the followers will be feeling very bored and monotonous, right? So the leaders should have some kind of sense of humor, just cracking some jokes. Similarly, of course, just talking maybe simple things that can, of course, relieve his followers. So ഒരു നർമ്മ ബോധം ഉള്ള വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരിക്കും നമ്മുടെ വ്യക്തി. So that, of course, you can just relieve yourself. നമ്മളതിൻ്റെ വൈകാരികമായിട്ടുള്ള പിരിമുറുക്കങ്ങളൊക്കെ നമുക്കൊന്ന് റിലാക്സ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റും if we have a sense of humor. Similarly, we can also relieve the tension and worry and stress of the followers. So leaders must have some sense of humor, which is, of course, going to contribute to the followers and the community in a very positive way. And these are the major important leadership traits. But other than that, we can, of course, just think there are, of course, many other traits that will contribute to the evolving of a leader. And maybe I will say some more points about leaders or good leaders. Good leaders, please understand, they will radiate positive energy. Okay, so this is very important. They will always be very smart and active and enthusiastic, and they will be spreading or radiating positive energy. That is another very important aspect. Radiating positive energy. Radiate positive energy. This is very important. So leaders will always radiate positive energy. They will be very passionate. Okay, let us do this, let us do that, let's go, let's work together. And they will be radiating, spreading positive energy, always ready to do something, never tired, never fed up, ready. Okay, let's go, let's move, let's do. That is their attitude. And this kind of positive energy of leaders will be just leading the entire team to success. So leaders will always spread positivity, positive energy, always ready for anything. And this kind of positive energy is just boosting the morale of the team. The morale, yeah. If the ANO is, of course, very energetic and smart, the team, the cadets will be smart. If the teacher is, of course, very energetic and smart, of course, right, passionate and all, the entire class, the entire batch will be very passionate. And this is very important. Okay, the leader must be radiating, or he must be very positive. And now another thing about the good leaders is, of course, they will always be
proactive in their attitude. They will be proactive. They have a proactive attitude.
Proactive attitude refers to, of course, right, they will be always responsible for everything. A true leader. I, as the teacher, I, as the responsible person in my family, okay, I, as the principal, I, as the associate NCC officer, will be proactive in the sense that if there is a problem in the organization, if there is a problem in the family, it is not good of me to blame the other members. Yeah, I am responsible. I too am responsible. If there's a problem in the college, right, the principal, yeah, I am also responsible. Not just blaming the entire staff. I am responsible, right? So, okay, that is being proactive. So, associate NCC officer, not just blaming the carers all the time. Okay, yeah, I too am responsible for this problem. So, not blaming others. Always proactive means solving the issues. The leader will have a solution for everything. കൂട്ടത്തിലുള്ളവരെ ഇങ്ങനെ കുറ്റം പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് എല്ലാം തെറിവിളിച്ച് നടക്കുന്ന ഒരു സമ്പ്രദായം അല്ല ലീഡറിനുള്ളത്. അതേ മറിച്ച് ഞാനും കൂടെ നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും കൂടെ കാരണമാണ്. അപ്പൊ നമുക്കിത് പരിഹരിക്കാം. That is being proactive. And remember, another very important aspect of true leaders is, of course, they will be delegating tasks. This is very important. Delegate tasks. Okay. So that is, of course, right. The leader alone cannot do everything. The principal alone cannot discharge the duty of the college. The ANO alone cannot do everything. Conducting the Independence Day celebrations, conducting the Republic Day celebrations, or arranging an Environmental Day awareness camp or rally or anything. ANO alone cannot do that. So true leaders, even the commanding officer, right? Commanding officer cannot do everything. The Prime Minister cannot do everything. True leaders will be delegating tasks. Okay. Commanding officer is discharging all duties to the ANOs. ANOs asking the cadets or senior under officers. Principal asking the teachers, right? This is delegating the task. And true leaders will be successful in delegating the task. And one has to do that. And remember, one more point I have to tell you about the true leader. So you have to remember 14 or 15, but of course there are more. And the next is, of course, the 18th point is, right, the true leaders will just trusting the team. A true leader has to trust the team. Yeah, I have to trust my family. I have to trust my organization. I have to trust my principal, my colleagues. Okay. So also I have to trust my fellow associate NCC officers. All right, the commanding officer trusting the associate NCC officers, Prime Minister trusting the ministers of the cabinet. All right, so this is trust. Trust is very important for good leaders. Okay, so with that we can just conclude the leadership traits. We have seen some 18 leadership traits, and of course now we will just sum up. There are 18 leadership traits, from alertness to, of course, trust. And now let us, my dear cadets and dear students and colleagues, let us ensure that we are all, of course, good leaders. Maybe if we have another leader, just Gandhiji from our group, we have, of course, another leader like Abraham Lincoln, or maybe we have another leader like Mother Teresa or Baba Amte. Of course, the world will benefit, and of course our life will have more meaning. So let us at least ensure that I, as a leader, will of course radiate some positive energy. I will be just giving happiness to my fellow beings. I'll be just giving happiness and hope to, of course, those people who associate with me. Okay, so I'm just wishing you all the best. May you be a leader. And what will be a leader doing? A leader will make his followers leaders. Okay, I will be making my family, members of my family, leaders. I'll be making my students leaders. I'll be making my cadets leaders. I'll be making the members of my society leaders. Leaders make leaders. Okay, leaders will never say excuse. Let us not say excuse in any context. Let us always accept everything in an enthusiastic way, and let us make leaders so that we have a better world tomorrow. Wish you all the best. May God bless you. Jai Hind.